Hello everyone, I'm Nicolaou. I'm the G Capital Chair Professor of Big Market Economics at Warwick Business School at the University of Warwick, and I'm delighted to act as the panel moderator at this event. I am grateful to the speakers for sharing their insights, their knowledge and their expertise on the entrepreneurial process, and I believe that events like this are really critical if we are going to embed an entrepreneurial culture within the University of Cyprus and within Cyprus more broadly, and also if we are going to demystify the entrepreneurship phenomenon. I am particularly delighted because two of our speakers are graduates, are alumni of the University of Cyprus. And I'm also really happy that one of our speakers, Charlampos, was involved in a university spin-out. And I've often said that university spin-outs and licensing activities are something that the University of Cyprus and other academic institutions in Cyprus should actually encourage and promote much more broadly. And I also like to thank Jack and Alex for sharing their insights on Raspberry Pi and on Street Hub, respectively. And without further ado, the members of the panel would be happy to entertain any questions that you might have. So I'd like to open the floor for questions, please.
Hello, the question is for Jacques. You mentioned about you need to read the market, you need to understand the market. That was the key outcome. When did you find out that the market is actually the ones who is telling you what to do rather than what you believed at the beginning?
I try and encourage my students to go and talk to the market before they build anything. Go and find the user. It's the users where your money comes from, not the investors. Investors are just a bank along the way. They're fine with you. The money you're spending should be from the end users. So if you think you're going to sell 1,000, go and talk to 10 people. Wear out that shoe leather. What are their real problems? Maybe it's something different and something easier to do.
My question will be addressed to Andreas. You mentioned in your speech about lean methodology, Andreas. Can you explain briefly to us what is lean methodology? I think I know through a European program what it is, if you can share it with us. And then also if you applied it and you found, positive results in this process.
Thank you for that. Yeah, basically what the lean methodology is what also the other speaker described is you have an idea, you build a prototype and then you test it, you find out if it works or not. There is no clear plan, so you iterate all the time and you develop and improve your product through time. Usually big organizations have strict deadlines and they create big plans of how to launch a product. But this doesn't work with lean methodology because you need to be in an environment which you don't know where it will take you. I have done this on our product we launched with what was called Labkin. So we started with cooking the product in the oven in our house, finding out how it works or how it's not working, and then testing with users and cooking it again, and then we went to the manufacturers to do the real product. There was no clear plan, and through iteration we launched the product. And basically the lean methodology goes like that, and maybe some other he wants to add to that.
If I could just say, Eric Ries has written a very nice book called The Lean Startup, where he talks a little bit about some of this, and particularly the importance of pivoting. And I think many of the speakers have alluded to that today. where pivoting is a change in strategy without a change in your vision. That often in the startup process, you need to change your direction. You need to change from your original path to something very differently. And I think a number of you have actually faced that. And I think it's something that we see it all over and over again in the entrepreneurial process.
These days, you can do a lightweight startup very much more easily. Software, you only need a pencil and a laptop and an internet connection, and you can sell around the world. You can raise money through Kickstarter and the like. And that Kickstarter works very well because you don't have to give equity away, and you get your early customers. That does your market testing for you.
My name is Abraham Banaihi. I come from the finance department. And my question is addressed to Mr. Alex about fundraising that you mentioned. We can talk about, in general, about fundraising and also the key elements of your preparation as an entity into entering the fundraising segment.
Okay, so first of all, I agree with what Jack is saying, right? I mean, if you can find a way not to give up equity and not to raise any funding from external investors or VCs, then definitely go for that. I'll probably do that when I do another course. Now, especially when you're a first timer, if you have the opportunity to get some money, then you might as well get some. And the more money you can get, the better it is, because it's very likely that you won't be able to raise again. So in terms of the environment of fundraising in Europe, I'm not that familiar with what's happening in terms of European funds, etc. I know how the UK scene works. So you've got the smaller angels, who are people that really believe in an idea.